Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. I know I should be uploading a Billie Eilish video right now, but man, that thing's taking forever. Anyways, if you are new to the channel, be sure to give this video the notoriously fat thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Come on, help a brother out. In today's video, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the James Charles situation again. And just like last week's video, we're going to break it into different parts. First, we'll talk about James and Tati. Then we'll talk about James and straight guys. But also, thirdly, we're going to talk about Jeffree Star and a bit about the social media community. So let's get right to it. Last week I said that this wasn't all James's fault. But now I'm saying pretty much none of it is his fault. Tati really did him wrong with what she did, especially considering her age. But it seems as though most of it was her just being very emotional and acting rashly. I still cannot wrap my head around her being upset because James promoted a rival brand. While not overwhelmingly, he has promoted her product in the past. If he did what he had done behind her back, considering the circumstances, then I could have seen with her. But James in fact reached out to her prior to posting the video, which is what I suggested in my last video he should have done. But watching Tati's video, according to her, he did not contact her until after, which was a blatant lie. She even made it seem to the viewers as though it wasn't something important to him. And doubling back on what I said in my previous video, she seemed to have just wanted him to be hurt the same way she was hurt. And it's all interesting that even after James's second video, Tati still stayed by what she said in her previous video and didn't own up to her mistakes, which is kind of concerning. Secondly, I didn't want to say certain things in my last video because it seemed as though there was much more to the story than Tati was leading on about James liking straight boys. Side note, turns out the more to the story from her perspective was absolute useless shit and added no sort of value to the story. And as I suspected, these guys that James seemingly were aggressively going after were in fact not straight. I didn't want to seem insensitive, but if you're gonna agree to meet a guy in a hotel and agreed to make out with him, lasting for almost an hour, you're probably not straight, mate. All of what James said about inside jokes absolutely makes sense to me. Heck, I'm not famous, but I say similar stuff all the time. I remember the first time my photo got over 100 likes on Facebook. I told my cousins I don't talk to anyone with less than 100 likes anymore. Taken out of context, that might seem horrible, and it's interesting to see how Tati used it against him. And now to Jeffree Star. Now, sometimes Jeffree Star can be an absolute bellend, and I find his apology video a bit out of balance because nowhere in the video did he actually say, "I'm sorry" to James. He said "I'm sorry" to multiple persons, but he never apologized to James. He acknowledged that he should have done things differently, but never did he apologize to James. A couple of other things seem a bit off, but holistically, he regretted the way he handled the situation. However, the real perpetrator here is social media. In my Jussie Smollett video, I talked about how traditional media picks things up and creates a certain narrative. Social media has done this exact thing. And again, doubling back on what I said in my previous video, now, for real here, a lot of things I said in my previous video and in PewDiePie's video are really some of the best way to look at this situation objectively. Anyways, what I said was that one of the things people like to do more than lifting someone up is tearing them down. Everyone jumped on the cancel James train without even clear reason as to why they should cancel him. The social media and YouTube influencers had a huge part to play in all of this, and instead of everyone just halting attacks and leaving things at everyone was wrong about James, they're now focusing and venting at Jeffree Star because everyone wants someone or something to blame for their own short-sightedness. Jeffree could not have done what he did, and he has made that clear in his video. People are now claiming that he is so evil and has not changed. How does that even make sense? If he was the same person as he was before, I think we can all agree that he would have handled this situation much worse. Everyone was simply wrong for attacking James. People should accept that and move on. It's not Jeffree's fault that over 3 million people chose to accept false and incomplete information.
To be honest with you guys and tell you that the last few weeks of my life has literally been the most painful time that I've ever had to deal with. And my head and brain for a hot minute went to a place so dark that I didn't think that I was going to come back from. And I can't believe I just admitted that on camera.
That part of the video was quite real. I remember wondering before this second video was even published that if he committed suicide, would everyone be happier? Is that what everyone who threw their hate wanted? Society seems to like to push the narrative of love and inclusion, but overwhelmingly undermines it with hate. Was it necessary to dig up tweets from sub 2010 to show that Jeffree is a predator? What does that even say about Jeffree now? And I get it, they're trying to show that Jeffree should not have attacked James in the way he did, but that wasn't the only reason persons brought up the tweets in the first place. Because a particular narrative that I keep hearing was, look what Jeffree did in his past. He is no different from James. That doesn't make sense to me. People like to point out the flaws in others to make themselves feel better about their own flaws. And as I record this video, I have some specific YouTubers in mind. I'm extremely proud of how James handled this situation, his second video, and I was glad that he did not agree to meet anyone and discuss anything. Anyways, that's just my opinion. That's it for me. Links to my social media is in the description of this video. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe to my channel for more videos that show alternative perspectives. And also Clash of Clans videos, covers. Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff. Anyways, take care everybody.